Thank you. So that is one of the songs off my new album, which is called Inside Out. And the album was called that for a few reasons, really. But mostly because over the last few months I have been stripped to the core and rebuilt from the inside out. And as I've spoken to people around the world on stage over the last few months, I've come to realise that we're all going on this amazing journey at the moment, aren't we? There really is a stripping back to the core and an emerging of what is the real us, the real truth. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable. I was reminded yesterday when I was talking to a friend about an experience I had in Scandinavia when I was taken to a Sami shaman and I was introduced to her not by my name but by the fact that my heart was broken. And I felt very embarrassed to stand there with this stranger and be introduced in this way. And she said that she would help me, and she arranged to meet me in an hour's time. And she took me into this ancient forest and led me into a sacred site in a certain ceremony which was handed on from ancestor to ancestor. And we went into this place and she chanted for me, playing a drum in her ancient language. And I disappeared out of my body, out of my mind, and I dissolved into the earth. And the ground that I sat on was thick moss, very, very ancient moss like this, and I just melted into it. And I cried from the depths of my heart. And when I emerged, she had disappeared, and my heart had begun to heal back and to open again. And when I left the sacred site in the way that she had told me to do, I walked through the forest and I gradually heard her voice in the drum, and I followed the sound of it until I found her sitting under another rock. And I sat next to her. There weren't many words that we could exchange because we didn't speak the same language, but there was an exchange that went on. And from that moment, my heart began to open again, and the wounds that I'd experienced were left behind. And I see this is what we're all going through at the moment, both individually and as whole nations.